everyone, how you doing? Andrew Johnston here, certified personal trainer with over 10 years experience. I train over at CBC Fitness in Garden City, Pennsylvania. What we're going to be talking about today is how to train hip abduction in a unique way. Most of you who are familiar with hip abduction are familiar with the hip circles. This is a great way to train hip abduction while standing. You place a hip circle either around the knees or the ankles, and you just simply do what's called the band walk. It's a great way to train hip abduction, but today we're going to go over a unique way that you may have overlooked. For those of you who are familiar with suspension trainers, this is a skills suspension trainer. You can get them about $35, I think, on their website and or Amazon. What we're going to do is we're going to train hip abduction in a high push-up position. Okay, so you can grab parallel bars or just your hands, and you're going to walk your feet back. And the key is, again, quality, right? Just feeling that abduction movement while at the top of the push-up position. So these can be used in two different ways. We can do these obviously as a glute activation drill. 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, prepping the body for your compound movements. What the unique thing with what's going on in the world today, maybe a lot of you right now don't have access to barbells. So you could obviously do this to sort of keep the glutes strong while you're not, squatting and deadlifting heavy poundages. I'm a big fan of that. I love strength training, but right now, maybe you're saying to yourself, I don't have a barbell. I don't have heavy deadlifts and heavy squats available to me. So you can do this for the higher rep ranges to increase hypertrophy and to keep your hips mobile so that when you go back to squatting and deadlifting, when we get our normal lives back, your hips are mobile and strong. At the bottom of a squat, obviously, a lot of people tend to fail because their knees buckle inward. What's called, valgus motion at the bottom where the knees cave in, okay? So the more mobile my hips are, the less likely that is to occur. Also, this is something that you can do, say, 2 to 3 times a week. There's less of a likelihood of overtraining. You can just go by how your body feels and incorporate it as something to do as part of even an upper body day, because obviously, as you can see, you're in that high push-up position. You can transition right into drills like jackknives, pike-ups, things of that nature. I also like to, a lot of people on social media, I don't think give credit to the people who went before them. Some of my influences are people like Christian Thibodeau, Jeff Cavalier, John Meadows, Dan John, the guys who have been in the trenches for years, great content, great strength coaches. All of them seem to have a consensus that if your hips are tight, bad things happen at the bottom of a squat. So that's another great thing about this drill. It helps keep the hips loose. Not that posterior pelvic tilt or butt wink is a death sentence, but anything we can do to get the hips more mobile is a good thing. So we're going to show you also a digression if you don't have a suspension trainer via furniture sliders, which you can pick up at Lowe's for about $10, which I believe Lowe's is still open, okay, because it's deemed essential. So same thing. Pull those hips out, draw it in. Again, about 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps as an activation drill, or higher reps toward the end of a workout to really get a good metabolic stress and a good pump to the glutes. That's about it for today. Hopefully that helps. And again, this is something that you can continue to do when gyms open back up, but something that's going to help keep those glutes strong until we get back to our barbells and our heavy dumbbells.